Hey my squidlings, it's Katie here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my DIY art books, and it's pretty simple, so I'm just going to go over a list of things that you'll need and then we'll get started. So first off, you'll need something that you can print on two sides of. I am personally using the Georgia Pacific cardstock that I got from Walmart, but they make double-sided photo paper. This is just what I use. And next up, you'll want some kind of photo paper if you want the cover to be a little bit higher quality than the inside. Not saying that you don't want the insides to be high quality, but I like my covers to look really bright and vibrant, so I went with this photo paper. Again, I got this at Walmart, and it was really inexpensive, but it's really nice. Then, of course, you'll want some art to put in your art book. Next up, you'll want some chipboard. If you don't want a hardcover, but you want your cover to be sturdy, you'll want to get some chipboard. Then you'll also want to get some neutral pH glue. This is PVA glue and it dries flexible. You want to make sure it dries flexible because if you open your pages, you don't want them to just kind of snap and crack out. You want it to be flexible. You'll want some foam brushes or a paintbrush to apply your glue. You'll want some binder clips to keep your pages held together while you glue them, just so they don't separate, because that could be a nightmare. If you want to decorate the edges, you can use some decorative tape. I've got washi tape and duct tape here. You just kind of want to find a tape that goes well with the theme that you're working for. Personally, in this video, I use this silver duct tape, but you can use anything. And then lastly, and this is 100% optional, you'll want some kind of glittering device if you want to hand embellish every single page. That is what I did in my art books, and I really like the way they looked. Alright, so let me remind you that everything in my store right now is 50% off, and that includes all of my art books. If you want one, it's the best time to get one. And yeah, now let's go ahead and go into the tutorial of how I made these art books. First, you're going to want to take your artwork, put it in your scanner bed, and scan it into your computer. Then you're going to want to edit it in an editing software like Photoshop or something to get it as close to the original as possible. Then you're going to want to print out your artwork. This is sped up, of course, but you're going to want to print out your artwork, flip it over, print it on the other side so you have a double-sided page. Optionally, you can print an inside cover as well. Then you're going to want to take your paper, if it's not already the correct size, and cut it in a paper cutter. You can use an X-Acto knife or scissors as well, but paper cutters are just easier. And you're going to want to cut them down to whatever size you want. I chose 5x7 for my books. And here are all the papers. Now that you've got them all done, this is the time if you want to add an embellishment, you might want to do that, and I just chose to glitter all of mine just to add a special little sparkle to each and every one of them. Now that we've got them all done and glittered and sparkly and stuff, you're going to want to make sure they are as flat as possible on the binding edge. You want to make sure each and every paper is flat on the bottom. Do not clip it where I clip in the video. I will have circles on the screen where you want to clip it. You want to clip it on either side so the pages stay crunched down and they don't raise up, because if you clip it in the back, you'll have warping. Then you're going to want to squirt out some glue into a paper plate and glue the binding edge. I took a foam brush and I did 3 layers on one part, and then I flipped the book over and did 3 more layers. Because gravity happens, you will have a thick layer of glue on the bottom and thin on top, so you want to even that out by flipping the book. Again, I did about 5 to 6 layers per book just to make sure they would stay. Now that you've got your book all bound, I'm going to be adding my inside cover. This is optional. I printed one out. What you're going to want to do is put some glue onto the book itself, and the creased edge of the inside cover is going to be facing the binding. Make sure you've got it upright, and you're going to want to completely make it as flat as possible. If you glue the paper itself, it'll have little wrinkles in it, so you just want to be as careful as possible. So anyway, what this does is just a little embellishment, nothing necessary, and then I go ahead and fix any spots that aren't completely glued down just to make sure it's secure. After that, I'm going to take my chipboard and my cover papers, and I'm going to be gluing the chipboard, not the paper itself. Get as gluey as possible with it, and then try not to touch too much glue whenever you touch the covers, and lay it as evenly as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to be embellishing it later with tape, and that will cover up any ugly edges. And I'm going to be doing the same to the back cover, and then we're going to let them dry. You want to keep everything between heavy layers of books or something just to make sure it adheres correctly. Then we're going to be taking a cover and we're going to be putting the glue on the chipboard. Now this is going to be glued on the book, so you want to make sure everything is lined up properly and you want to make sure nothing is upside down. Then you're going to be gluing it on. Again, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect because the tape is going to cover a little bit of that, but you want to try to get this part as close as possible. Then we're going to be taking some of that tape. I'm choosing to use the silver tape, and since my book is 5x7, I'm doing 2 strips of 5-inch tape and 2 strips of 7-inch tape. However, you are going to want to put tape on the bound edge just to kind of pretty it up a little bit and make sure it stays bound. You might want to put a second layer of tape on the bound edge just to make sure that it is going to stay bound. You also want to make sure that you line this up correctly because this is important. You don't want it to be a little wonky. You're going to be folding on the edge. You're going to be doing it to every side. Again, with the bound edge, you want to make sure it has a tape that goes all the way around it. But if you have a thick enough tape, then that's fine. Now here is a final look at the book. Those are the pages. Our book's all done, so congratulations, you made a book! So I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to thumbs it up. Also, don't forget you can follow me on all of my social media. Links are in the description below. And yeah, don't forget to join our cute little squid pod if you haven't already by hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget you can hit that little bell notification to keep updated on when I upload new videos. And until next time, guys, toodaloo!